The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Yeah! We love Tobago Carnival!
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is Monday, 12th August 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago, and I am Adana Kumbi. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. What a beautiful day to be in the land of the living. Coming out of the weekend, of course, there were so many activities happening there over the weekend, yes, and I know that sometimes on Mondays it's a struggle, but we're so happy to be coming to you this morning. We're so happy that you've chosen us to be a part of your morning routine, whether you're getting ready for work, you are puttering around in the kitchen or in the garden, whatever you're doing this morning. It's always a pleasure to be coming to you this morning. I know it's we had a rainy evening yesterday evening rather, and it was kind of cozy for some, and for others it probably was a little bothersome because you might have wanted to be on the outside. But in all things, we still give God thanks for life. Before we begin all of our conversations this morning in studio, we're going to head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, August 12, 2024. A 30-year-old man was detained by the Tobago Divisional Task Force in connection with illegal trafficking activities. The arrest occurred on Saturday when officers on mobile patrol stopped a suspicious heavily tinted Mitsubishi Lancer along Jofield Trees in Lambo. The vehicle, driven by a suspect from Lambo Village, contained illegal items including Glock pistol, ammunition, ammunition, drugs, cash, and other contraband. The suspect, who had no driver's permit and wasn't the vehicle registered owner, was detained and taken to the Scarborough police station. The investigation into the trafficking operation is ongoing. Up next, former National Security Minister and National Transformation Alliance leader Gary Griffith criticized the THA's plan to rent 2 vessels for the Coast Guard to combat rising crime in Tobago. Griffith argued that the decision demonstrates a lack of understanding of national security and disrespecting the expertise of trained Coast Guard personnel. He emphasized that the Coast Guard's role is to secure the nation's exclusive economic zone, not to patrol close to shore in rented vessels. Griffith also highlighted 6 vessels which were acquired during his tenure as National Security Minister and were intended for extensive offshore patrol are underutilized. He accused the current administration of political negligence and a lack of proper border security strategy, leaving Tobago vulnerable to criminal activities. And finally, Dr. Iana Parisian-James has been released from Scarborough General Hospital and is now recovering from her injuries. She was shot near the scapula and, according to medical scans, this may have prevented a fatal outcome. Parisian-James is the latest victim of gun violence in Tobago. She was shot on Thursday night outside Pablo's supermarket in Argyle while protecting her 1-year-old daughter. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And thank God, of course, that doctor is out of hospital and recovering, due to that unfortunate situation that took place there in the Argyle area. And, we continue to pray that the situation where crime and gun-related crime is under wraps here on the island of Tobago. So we could go back to a place of where we feel comfortable and safe once again. But we want to talk about something, a little bit more lighthearted this morning. Biana, the Olympics.
Yes, it's
Paris
over.
2024 is over.
Yes, it is over. But, Trinidad and Tobago was not successful in, securing medals in whatever event they would have participated. But we hope that, next time around we should be able to secure some medals.
That's right. And as we see the team there, it really is a moment to say thank you. Let's say thank you to our team.
Yes.
For representing Trinidad and Tobago on an international stage. And even though we didn't medal, we came so close.
Yes.
With Jareen, for instance.
It took a lot to, actually be on stage, to represent your country. So we must say thanks to all the athletes.
Of course, and it's a good thing that you said that, because sometimes, looking from where we sit, we have so many comments to make and so many different remarks. But when you think about the sacrifice that these people make in terms of training, preparation to get there, and then getting there on a world stage where millions of people are looking at you, it could be just nerve-wracking just thinking about it, and then having to go out there to do your best.
Also putting along their own personal struggles and still want to be victorious to represent your country. That's also another, thing that we have to take into consideration.
That's right. So we just want to say congratulations to Team TTO, and we continue to wish you all the best and support you in other sports in competitions that might come up around on an international, like world championships and whatever competitions come up around the globe. We will continue to support you and, of course, continue to wave the red, white, and black very, very high, proudly.
Yes.
Right? So thank you so much, Biana, this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is International Youth Day. Yes, it is August 12th, an International Youth Day. In fact, the entire week is being celebrated across the globe. And the theme for this year is, we may not have it all together, but together we have it all. I'll say that again. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. So we say happy International Youth Day to all the youth across the globe, and primarily here on the island of Tobago. I know there are so many activities taking place on the island, especially as we're in the summer period, the vacation period, where our young people are engaged in some type of vocation or some type of employment. And so we just want to say happy International Youth Day to you, and we do hope that you are able to benefit from the experiences that you go through this period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say happy birthday and celebrate with all those who are celebrating this morning. We head on over to our birthday shoutouts. All right, and celebrating this morning is the man, Mr. Binley Benjamin, known by many as Binley B. Yes, the Soca Parang man of Tobago. We want to wish you a very, very happy birthday this morning, Mr. Benjamin. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday this morning. We pray God's blessings upon your life. Happy birthday to you. And next is the man known as KGB, Kurt Gill, the man with the beatbox voice. Yes, we want to wish you a very happy birthday this morning. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We pray that as you continue to do your thing, that God blesses you and keeps you and guides you, and that you do continue walking in purpose. Happy birthday to you. This one celebrating today is Omari Azaz Alexander, and this is coming from Auntie Rhea, Uncle Oswald, Mom and Dad, grandparents, cousins, and Jam. Lots of love. We too at Tobago Updates Television want to wish you a very happy birthday. We join in with your family and loved ones to say happy birthday to you, Omari, as you celebrate today. We pray God's blessings upon your life as well. Happy, happy birthday to you. And we have Ronald Murray. Ronald Murray is also celebrating a birthday today. Ronald, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you enjoy the celebrations today. Happy birthday to you. Anna Lindo is celebrating as well, and Anna, we wish you a very, very happy birthday. Coming to you from all of us at Tobago Updates Television. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today, and we pray God's blessings upon your life. Happy birthday to you. And this one, Michelle Boris, is a belated birthday, and we do want to wish you happy birthday, Michelle. We pray God's blessings upon your life. If you know Michelle at all, she's always smiling. I've never seen Michelle upset, and so I want to wish you a very happy birthday, and I pray that you continue smiling and you continue to be the beautiful person that you are, and we wish you the very best in this new chapter of your life. So, happy birthday to you. And to all the persons who are celebrating as well, even though we don't have your photo, we join with you in the celebrations. And of course, remember to give God thanks for life, for He is the one who has given you life. And of course, there's another celebration that we want to celebrate today and to shout out. This morning, we are celebrating a wedding anniversary, and this is Wimana and Sita Kombi. Yes, happy wedding anniversary, 6 years of wedded bliss. We want to wish you a very, very happy wedding anniversary. And this couple, they had 2 weddings, yes, and if you had a chance to be a part of any one of their weddings, the first one, it was a Hindu reception, and it was really, really beautiful, and this one is what we call the Christian or the traditional wedding. And I'm telling you, if you had the opportunity to be a part of this wedding, it would have been an unforgettable moment in life. I'm telling you, it was really, really remarkable, and so we want to continue to wish you God's blessings. We want to continue to pray that you grow together in love as your bond strengthens. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and that you do continue to have many, many years of wedded bliss. Happy, happy wedding anniversary. And in case you didn't realize or recognize the surname, as I said, Wimana Kombi, yes, that's my younger brother. And so we want to say happy wedding anniversary to you and my beautiful sister-in-law there, Sita Kombi. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday morning, and you might be wondering what's in my cup. What's in my cup is sponsored by LCJ Delights, and this morning I am drinking moringa ginger tea. Yes, you can get your teas as well from LCJ Delights. They are there at the Signal Hill compound, and you can get your teas, your porridges, flour to make your waffles and pancakes, and all your breakfast menus, including your mixed nuts and all types of locally produced items there. So contact them for your cup this morning. All right, who are we speaking with? It's Monday, so of course we must speak with TTPS, and this morning we speak with Inspector Caitlin Sterling this morning of the TTPS as she brings the crime updates for us this week. And then we speak with Keegan Denoon, the YES program coordinator, administrator rather, and we're talking about combating youth unemployment. Yes, with a focus there, because we are celebrating International Youth Week, we think it necessary to speak about things that affect youth. We also speak with Alana Henry. She is a program manager, and Karine Stewart, assistant youth center coordinator, as we speak about the Pro Youth Launch and Convention that is upcoming. And then later on in the program, we speak with a few more youths. Yes, Anson Moses, Kirsten Miller, Melinda Alfred, Shanika Adams, all of the YES program. And we want to have a little bit of insight as to their experience in this edition of the YES program. So it's all about our young people today as we speak with them, talking about their experiences and maybe what they're looking forward to in this year for celebrating International Youth Day and what their projections are for their young lives. So we do hope that you stay with us. And this morning I want to send a special shout out this morning again to my brother and his wife there, to my parents, of course, to all our loyal viewers this morning. Miss Pearl Murray Beard, who is always online. Julia Brown, good morning to you. Otis Nixon, good morning to you guys. Thank you so much for choosing us this morning and for staying with us as we bring the information to you with things happening in and around the island of Tobago. Whether you're viewing us on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel, or on Amplia 102, we say welcome, good morning, and thank you for choosing us and making us your number one choice for a morning show here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to go for a short break before we begin conversations in studio, and as we go, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio, and we speak with Inspector Caitlin Sterling as she brings the updates on crime here on the island of Tobago, representing the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Adana, and our listening viewers.
Right. So it's Monday. And usually here on Tobago Updates Television on the morning show, we speak to TTPS as it relates to things happening on the island of Tobago where crime is concerned. And our most recent news coming out there over the weekend, an arrest was made of a young man driving suspiciously, and so he was apprehended. So tell us a little bit about that situation if you're able to this morning.
Okay, Anna, that's a success for the Tobago division because we be having some violent crimes happening in the Tobago space. So, as you said, the gentleman was arrested for a firearm which was found in his possession, also narcotics, cell phones, and other items. He will be investigated, the matter will be investigated and taken to court. He will be taken to court. So that's a success because of the crime that has been developing in the Tobago space.
And there's been a lot of shooting incidents on the island of Tobago in the recent past. The most recent one being in the Argyle area.
Lamy Road, Argyle.
Lamy Road, right, that correct. And of course, we had an innocent bystander being falling in the line of the shooting, and she was hospitalized. And we're happy to hear that she's out of hospital now. How is that investigation going? Do we have any information that you can share with us where that is concerned?
So a correction, that incident happened at Windward Road, Argyle, in the vicinity of Pablo Supermarket. And we must be grateful that the doctor is out and safe. She's home recuperating. The TTPS is investigating this matter vigorously to bring the perpetrators to justice. So we have leads and we are following up those leads.
All right. Well, I suppose you're following up leads on all the shootings that we've been having on the island of Tobago, because at the end of the day, our citizens are really, really concerned, and we have the conversations in studio, and I know that the TTPS is sitting in the offices strategizing and speaking with the other agencies. But of course, as people, as humans, and people living in the space, what we really want to see is apprehension of these criminals, and we want to get the information and to know that they are behind bars. At the end of the day, that is what our primary concern is here on the island.
Yes, and we are investigating these matters with urgency. We also strategize, changing our strategy, and I'm sure you can see in Scarborough where we've seen police officers joined with the TTR, and we haven't joined foot patrols in the Scarborough area. We also did some cleaning exercise, clearing Scarborough to build back the confidence in persons so that they could peruse Scarborough comfortable with a sense of safety and security. So we're really working on bringing Tobago back to the Tobago we all know and the Tobago we all want, right? So, but we also asking our stakeholders to partner with us to ensure that this happen, and we are working to ensure that we bring a sense of safety and security to our citizens of Tobago.
You mentioned that we would be seeing more people. We have started seeing more foot police in Scarborough, in the Scarborough area, but sometimes, and because of historical evidence, you see when something happens, because it's fresh, you see the police would come out, they would be there in their numbers for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and after a while, you would see the resources dwindling away. They might be, I don't know. Is it something that would happen in this instance, or what is the plan in terms of sustaining a police presence in areas that we deem primarily as hotspots and in communities in general to ensure that persons feel safe?
Well, we know some of us say we do reacting policing, but we are trying to be proactive. And in the earlier times, we always see foot patrol in Scarborough. That is not something new. So we want to continue with this, with the increase in resources that we expected and we are having. We want to make this regular, and that it is a continuous effort with the TTPS in maintaining this new, well, not new, this initiative, that it would continue, and not only in the Scarborough space, but we're looking at the whole of Tobago, because as we could see, the crime is not concentrated in one area. We're having it in the east, we're having it in the west, north and the south. So we're really trying to improve and continue. So this will be the new face of the TTPS in Tobago.
We do hope that one, it can be sustained, and two, that of course the results will come as a consequence of this action. And as you said, that all the stakeholders come on board to ensure that we put the necessary actions into place to ensure that Tobago remains a safe space. Because at the end of the day, as I always say here on this program, that the crime situation affects not just the people who are immediately, impacted by it, but it affects all of us. It affects our tourism industry, it affects our economy, and at the end of the day, it affects me and it affects you personally, because we live in a space now where we feel so uncomfortable and uneasy to be outside. So we do hope that the measures you put in place will, of course, bring that measure of ease back on the island of Tobago. I know you also wanted to start talking about missing persons. We started having that conversation last week, and you want to go into it a little bit again this week. So tell us, in terms of management of when a report comes in for missing persons, and the type of reports that coming, is it a specific age group, or how are these reports lodged? What is in terms of gathering information, what is the age group that you look at for persons who are going missing these days?
So we must emphasize that missing person is a priority for the TTPS. In time back, we say missing persons, you have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. As soon as someone is missing, you must report it to the TTPS, any police station, the closest one to you. It is a priority for the TTPS, and in making that report, you must have necessary information: age of that person, a recent picture of that person, description of that person, what a person was wearing last, who was the last person that person spoke to. We having persons between the age of 12 to 19, mostly female missing, also elderly persons. So we know elderly persons suffering from dementia. So we asking caregivers or family members, don't leave these persons alone at home. Some of them, they're just persistent and they must go to Scarborough. Put a name tag on them, a contact number in their bag or maybe in the pocket, so that persons could identify and help them out. Also, persons in the village, we know persons who normally walk away. We could contact a family member or maybe the authorities if we see this person wandering away. Our children, most of our parents, we fail to report children missing because we believe they may be by a friend or absent parents. So we fail to report at the moment. But we are asking, you report as soon as that child is missing. That child may be in danger. They may be sexually molested. So we need that report as soon as possible so we can act on it as soon as possible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Inspector Caitlin Sterling from the TTPS this morning, bringing the crime updates to us and, of course, giving information in terms of how you can report a missing person, and you don't have to wait for 24 hours. As soon as you realize that this person is missing, you can lodge a report. Remember to send in the necessary information so that investigations can begin immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us share the live. Share the live. Share the live. We'll be right back.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Like this. Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta, fun.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke what you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
You want the good all. Fit you but then enough 99. Girl, go to club, girl like. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue this morning conversations in studio as we speak with two beautiful young ladies. We're speaking with Alana Henry. Hi. She is the program manager, and Kareen Stewart, assistant youth center coordinator, as we speak about the Pro Youth launch and convention that is taking place here in Tobago today. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning, Adana.
Right.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, a pleasure to have you. Of course, we're talking about International Youth Week starting today, August 12th. And so we're talking about this launch. It's a youth launch. For our viewers who are not acquainted with what this is about, can we just have a brief overview as to what this launch is about?
Yeah,
or the program itself?
Sure. Good morning, viewers. Right. So today we're having the launch of Pro Youth. Pro meaning providing real opportunities for youth. And of course, the theme for International Youth Day today, well, for the rest of the month, is From Clicks to Progress, providing youth digital pathways for sustainable development. So of course, the launch today will focus on digitization and technology and trying to bridge the gap between what currently exists and the existing opportunities that are available for youth.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Of course, always providing a platform for young people to get information or exposure, any type of training or development is always welcomed in the space here in Tobago. So now we're having this program. how can youth access the program itself? How can they participate in the program? And what are the expected outcomes?
Okay, so in the first, there are 3 phases of the launch today. So the first part of the launch is actually a TED Talk style kind of conference that is happening at Shore Park. It's available to the public, so it's open to the public. So we are inviting everyone to come in. So there's a panel discussion where we have persons like Kyle Maloney of Tech Beach, Akel Franklin, who owns Anson Moses, Jonica Romeo, Denell Smith Sandy, who is part of you, right?
The owner.
So they'll be a part of a panel where they'll be discussing how digitization and technology can actually assist in solving situations like crime, which we know is now an emerging issue on the island. Education, innovation, and technology, of course.
Even finance.
And policies and governance, but all of that using digitization and technology. So the first part of the program, which starts at 10, will focus on that panel discussion. And then after we have an exhibition where we have, there are a couple areas that will be exhibiting. So we have the creative sector, we have the technological sector, educational sector, and the finance sector in this space today.
Right. And so we're speaking about technology and the advancement, as you mentioned, how we can influence detecting crime and all these types of things. And so you have this group of people who are going to be here discussing these topics. So this is happening today for the launch. In terms of the youth participating, or you said it's open, is there like some type of registration that they have to? How do you get to be a part of the conversation? Because here you have a panelist of people who are going to be speaking. Is it going to be an interactive conversation, or is it, because with young people, something about them is the attention span,
of course,
right? And so how do you plan to engage young people actively in this conversation to ensure that they go away with something of value to them rather than coming to be lectured to?
Of course, and that is a beautiful question, Adana, which I love, right? So we're going to be using technology in order to engage them, not just the social media, but even in the space, we have devices set up. So with questions that will be posted, they can respond accordingly throughout the day. So we'll also have random questions being posted for the public, and even on the day, this morning, we have 150 of our World of Work participants who will be in the space. We have 150 summer internship participants who will be in the space. We have persons from the Office of the Chief Secretary Internship Program and the Division of Health Internship Program, and also 40 participants from our new program called Trade Trek, which we'll be launching today, right? And Karine will now tell you a little bit about that program.
Right. So Trade Trek is a pilot project that we're working on that kicks off starting tomorrow. They will have a week full of training. Within that training, they're going to learn financial management, skill-based, or I should say apprenticeship management, in terms of the skills that they would like to access and the tools that they would need to use to fulfill those commitments that they will be making. So within that week, they have the as I said, time management, skill-based training, and then with this program as well, these participants are going to choose the actual trade that they would like to learn. So it's not like we're giving them a trade. So if someone comes and they want to learn makeup artistry, there will be access to that. If they want to learn welding, carpentry, we look into the public sector and we place them accordingly. And then after that, it runs for 2 months. On the job, and after that they would now be either the company wants to keep them on, or we see how best we could still foster some kind of relationship.
Because I was going to ask, we have all these programs that we set up, especially during the vacation period, to capture young people who are either just leaving school or on vacation. And so we place them in all these different programs, and what happens after that?
Right.
So after the integration into, some of them might be absorbed into the workspace, and then there will be others. Is there a follow-up in terms of, okay, so I went through my 2-month period. Do you follow up to see how many persons were absorbed into workplaces and how many persons were not? Do you do an assessment to see why not?
So
and do you provide the additional support to get them into something that is beneficial to them?
So that's where our evaluation after the program happens. That's where we now look back into them and see, okay, which organization would have kept them on, how best we could help them to find some sort of ground in order to say, okay, I am not just this type of person, because the program caters to person, as I was supposed to say, persons who would have left school without completing high school, persons who are unemployed within the age of 16 to 25 that are just, let's say, for instance, maybe loitering, if you want to call it that, or persons who would have had some kind of struggled background where society kind of threw them to the side, and we are now trying to foster these people back into realization and the comfort of society without feeling left out, because we tend to forget about them. Even with the program, CCC is willing to partner with us to help place them better and help foster them and develop them more into the system of the trade.
All right, so you have this this convention and launch today, right? And what happens for the rest of the week? Because it's Youth Week. Do you have anything in terms of how is the program rolling out for the entire week, or is it just today?
No, the program in terms of Trade Trek runs for this entire week. However, on Friday we have another pro-youth based day, which is on Friday, which we are calling Pro Health. So anything that is focused health-wise, so it's going to be sports, activities. We're going to have, I think, is the unit from TIMA, which is CERT, in case of anything, you could go and have your pressure check, that kind of thing. We are trying to focus everything with the word pro. So once it helps us to see young persons better themselves, so it could be pro-youth, pro-health, what is the other word I'm looking for?
Pro-inclusivity.
Yeah, you know, it's just a whole global aspect of what pro-youth would be going forward.
Absolutely amazing stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're speaking with Alana Henry and also Harry, and Karine Stewart here, talking about the launch of the Pro Youth Convention, which is taking place today there in Shore Park. So, of course, all are invited. I heard it's an open event, as you mentioned, and so all are welcome to come and participate and to see how best you can benefit from what is being meted out to you today there. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we do wish you the very best, all the success as you continue with this program and other programs that are geared towards supporting young people in our spaces, especially as you know the crime situation that we have. So we're hoping that programs can absorb them and take them off the streets and give them other.
Yeah, and Adana, before we leave, and thank you again for having us, but before we leave, we just want to ask you, what does pro-youth mean to you?
To me, it means supporting young people. Because if you know anything about me, and when we're talking about young people, I have a soft spot where young people are concerned. And my previous co-host would always say, it only takes one person to support a young person. And that is what I am about, supporting them, ensuring that they in a safe space where they can speak freely, because sometimes young people feel as if there's nobody on my side, nobody understands me, and they think that I am young and rebellious. And so for me, supporting a young person, providing a safe space for them where they can express themselves and provide opportunities that will help them to maximize their full potential. So that is what pro-youth means to me. Thank you. Thank you so much for being my interviewer this morning here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And before we go for a break, will you guys help me to ask our audience to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry's social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning. As you know, it's International Youth Day, International Youth Week, and so our conversations are centered around things affecting young people. And this morning we speak with Mr. Keegan Denoon. He is the YES Program Administrator, and this morning we're talking about combating youth unemployment. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adana. Good morning, Tobago. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be at Tobago Updates, especially on a day like today, celebrating youth. I mean, an entire day dedicated to youth is amazing. I know today we have a lot in store for young people, especially with the Pro Youth launch coming up. I know some of my colleagues were on earlier talking about it, but we are here to discuss youth unemployment, and I guess the questions would roll, and we would see how this interview goes.
Right, of course. And, you know, a very important conversation. You know, I know coming up, we used to talk about something called the brain drain.
Right.
When our young people will go abroad, they would study, equip themselves, get all the necessary skills. And then to come back home to practice what they have learned in university would always be a challenge.
Right.
Right? And so that has happened for a number of years. And so we see people migrating to other countries, our young resources migrating to other countries. And now, of course, there's a discouragement. The young people are discouraged because they invest in themselves, and now they're in a space where can't find a job. All right. And so now we're talking about the unemployment of the young people, and not just, how do I put this? Not just a young person who is not actively seeking or equipping themselves for employment, but we're talking about persons who have made that investment, who have made that, you know, that they have really tried to position themselves in a place for employment. And we have a situation where a lot of young people are crying out, can't find a job, I need a job, I need to sustain myself and stuff like that. What is, from where you sit, right? What has been the report in terms of what we call young people internationally, the group or the age group that we're talking about? What has it been for you in terms of a report coming in from young people being, listen, boy, I just can't find employment anyway?
You see, the thing about it, Dana, unemployment is something that is not localized to Tobago. It is something that almost every Caribbean island and country experiences. The last statistics I saw is indicated that 1 in every 4 young persons are unemployed. So what we are doing from the division aspect is ensuring that young people are afforded the opportunity of getting meaningful employment. What you have is a number of persons who they go out and they educate themselves, right? And they come back and they have no work experience whatsoever. And so that is why the division has taken a very strategic approach to ensuring that internships remain a staple at the division. This year, the YES program facilitated over 150 young, bright minds from here in Tobago. We even have some here at Tobago Updates. I attended a play on Saturday, at TPAC. And the interns that were there were so integral in ensuring that the play was successful that the acting CEO asked if he could keep them. But I told him some of them have to go back to school. And the thing about it is, when you immerse young people into the culture, into the working environment from a very early age, now they are able to see what the working experience is like. They're seeing where they fit better. Some persons, I remember, there was one young lady who wanted to be a doctor. And the first time she saw blood, she fainted. And then she had to realize that she had to realign herself to something that she probably wanted to do differently. And so meaningful internships, meaningful employment, especially during that very formidable age in terms of between school and work gives young people the opportunity to determine where they want to go, where they want to align themselves. So what we are having is that some people just wake up, I want to be a chemist. And sometimes we don't have that opportunity here.
And I was just about to ask that, do we provide that measure of what you would call
career guidance?
That's right.
Right.
To assist them, because as you rightfully say, somebody might just decide, well, I want to be an astronaut. But is it applicable to the space where is it possible for you to get that type of engagement where you reside, or is it, so how is that provided?
Right. So the thing about it is we want to ensure that you are marketable on a global scale. We understand that brain drain is something that affects us significantly. However, we also don't want to limit our young people to the Tobago space and only the Trinidad space. We want to allow them the opportunity to spread their wings and be able to come back and give back to the country. So when you initiate that love for country, especially understanding what Trinidad and Tobago gives, you give you free education, give you meaningful employment. We have OJT, we have a number of opportunities afforded to young persons. There's a number of other Caribbean young people do not have access to. I speak to my friends, some in St. Lucia, some in Jamaica, and when I tell them about some of the programs that we have here, they are surprised. I mean, we have young persons who go to school and come back to Tobago, to Trinidad, and they don't have one bill to pay as it pertains to education because the education was free. So yes, unemployment is always going to be an issue, but you're going to have a greater educated force than the availability for opportunities. However, the division can only do so much. And that is why we are currently in the process of launching something called Impact TT, which is an ongoing internship, no longer going to be localized to July, August vacation. But this is going to be targeting young persons who are finished school and not necessarily sure what they want to do. Also young people who just finished graduating from college and are in that limbo phase of looking for employment. Yeah. And we are going to be doing what you call meaningful partnerships with people like IDB, the United Nations, the JET program, to ensure that we afford young people opportunities that they may not be able to access by themselves. Yeah. Educate them as to what opportunities is available. So yes, Tobago may not have all that you want, but we are going to be that guiding light to ensure that you have access to all the opportunities available. And hopefully that when you are able to access all those opportunities, you come back to Tobago and give back all that you would have learned.
In terms of collaborating with external agencies, as you mentioned, the government or the THE can't do everything. They can't absorb everybody. But they provide these programs that young people can participate and equip themselves to get the exposure. What is the response like in terms of collaboration with other agencies, as you mentioned before, to partner with you guys to ensure that, you have something of substance that can be sustained? You don't want it to be like a one-off. You want it to be something that is ongoing, as you mentioned with Impact TT. What is the response like where that is concerned? To get young people engaged?
Well, the response from the private sector is amazing. They are full on board. They look forward to partnering with us. So we are going through that MOU phase and stuff like that. We are even going through the phase of doing an MOU with the Ministry of Youth Development to ensure that young people from Tobago have access to the Fuse program, where they can now start training to be linesmen in Tiantec and all of those opportunities. So we are ensuring that we make available every single opportunity to all young people in Tobago possible. So you have no excuse, none whatsoever, to say that there's nothing for you. We have opportunities for people who have no subjects. So we have opportunity in terms of guiding you along that path of training or technical vocational skills. If you want to go back to school, we have programs for that as well. So you literally have no excuse but to succeed. So if you choose to fail, that's a personal choice that you're making.
And I'm happy that you mentioned that, because it leads me now to my next question. What about the person who will find an excuse or find a reason why, well, I just can't. How do you encourage that person? Boy, girl, there's something there for you. How do you encourage that person to get off from where they are? And not just because they're making excuses. It could be legitimate reasons based on their experience or somebody else's testimony that has caused them to be despondent. How do you encourage that person to access all that is available to them in this time?
So we even thought about that. So we have something called the BOSS program. That means building opportunities for sustainable success. And that program is a mentorship program. Yeah. So say for example, for the young men who are making the excuses, we align them to somebody that they basically look up to. So say for example, I had a good friend of mine who was interested in boat building. Yeah. So we, through the boss program initiative, we would have aligned him to somebody who does boat building. And now I know he builds his own boats, he repairs his own boats. Business has come out of that. We had a young lady who was interested in breeding. So yeah, so it not necessarily means that you have to be a lawyer or a doctor or a plumber or electrician. There are also other spheres of life that you can get into. I know a personal friend of mine who has gotten into knitting and crochet and makes amazing bathing suits and so out of it. And so there's a market for everybody. If it's one thing I know, there's always room at the top. So, but we can only do so much of that. You could take the horse to the river, but you can't make it drink. However, you can make the water available.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you this morning and the conversation we're having because young people just need support. They just need to know that somebody has their back and somebody's looking out for them. So we appreciate all the efforts that are being made to provide that space for young people.
Indeed. And I'm grateful that at my division, we have an administrator, Mr. Fisher McKean. We have the secretary, Mr. Joel Sampson, who continuously wants us to do more for young people. So every conversation you have with them is, okay, what more can we do? And I appreciate that. And so when you have the policymakers who are very adamant about driving youth development, it makes my job a lot easier in terms of planning the programs and the initiatives to ensure that young people have the opportunities made available to them.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Mr. Keegan Denoon. He is the YES Program Administrator, and we were talking about combating unemployment where young people are concerned, and providing opportunities for young people here on the island of Tobago. Of course, opportunities are available for all, so make yourself available to access what is there for you. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning in studio. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us share the live. Share the live. Share the live. We'll be back.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said it's okay, it's my therapy. Therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety. Anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jehovah show me love. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:51 a.m. So if you're getting to work for 8, you have just about 9 minutes. In fact, you should be climbing those stairs to your office unless you want to be late this morning. If you are still on the road, remember to drive safely to get there this morning. We continue conversations in studio this morning, and today we're speaking with some of the representatives from our from the Yes program. We're speaking this morning firstly with Melinda Alfred and Kirsten Miller. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Right, in your bright orange t-shirts this morning. You know, it's a pleasure having you here this morning. We're talking about youth because it's Youth Week and Youth Day internationally. And so we want to have a little chat with you as it relates to your experience being a part of the YES program. We know that the YES program is geared towards young people having that measure of exposure in the working environment and working in different industries across that sector as well. So how has it been for you, Kirsten? I'll start with you this morning.
Youth energized for success.
Youth, good.
It has been a great experience, a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this 2024 YES program internship. Thus far, I had the opportunity to come out of my shell, to bring out the youth, to be responsible, time management. I had a great experience and I am still enjoying it. I can't wait for 2025.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that you are able to identify the areas where you have seen improvement in your own personality in terms of the time management, coming out of your shell. And, you know, these things are very important when you actually get into the world of work, being responsible, being able to manage yourself. And of course, when you sit for an interview, these are some of the questions they would ask you, you know, and they would want to ensure that you have that measure of experience. I'm happy that you had that. In terms of carrying out the responsibilities where you were placed for this program, what was it like for you in terms of the experience itself? Is it something that was new to you? Is it something that you've had experience with before, something you wanted to do, or was it just like, I didn't expect this?
Well, for me, it was a continuation. I had the opportunity to work on different parts. It is not a first-time thing for me, but in terms of communication and actually getting to work hands-on with persons coming in, you know, I was able to deal with different problems even better. So it is something that I am accustomed doing, but I had the opportunity to sharpen the rough edges, I will say.
Absolutely amazing, and I'm happy to hear that. And Melinda, what has your experience been like where you have been placed in terms of interacting with your co-workers and maybe the stakeholders that are involved, persons who participate in the services that you offer?
Right. Well, with the YES program, I would say my experience has actually been exciting. You spoke about exposure, and in the training session, we were exposed to Tobago, information on Tobago. We had Dr. O'Connor, who spoke about Wake and Bongo and the different things that were there before our time. We also spoke to, I can't remember her name, but it was from legislature where it spoke about the importance of the Tobago House of Assembly. And it was exciting for me because everything Tobago, that is me, that is Melinda. I would also touch on the culture of Tobago, and I was placed in the Tobago Performing Arts Company. This year, we had our second year with the Creative Calabash Camp. It was a 2-week camp where the children learned about dance, film, theater, dance, film, music, and drama. And it has been an exciting opportunity to deal with the children, to be able to see how they learn using play. Yeah.
And I know that that is your area right there.
Yes.
So in terms of having responsibility for the camp itself, what were some of your responsibilities and how were you able to carry them out?
I was one of the aunties, so the children know me as Auntie Mel, Auntie Melinda. I work in the back where that is the drama. I was a drama resident, or I'm a drama resident for now. And we would have 4 sessions. So in the morning, we would have the assembly where everyone comes together and creative free play. I was with the ages 8 to 10 and also 11 to 13. So after creative free play for the 8 to 10s, there was either drama and dance, film for the 11 to 13s, or there was also music. And those were my...
And like Mr. Miller here, what are some of these skills that you were able to identify or even sharpen being a part of the YES program and your responsibilities there at TPAC?
Patience. Patience was definitely one of those skills because I don't know if anybody else have experienced this, but being in a room with so many children, sometimes you can get overstimulated. But, well, with TPAC, we were able to practice or train ourselves, where when the children did come to us, we were able to then mitigate certain things or calm them down in a very soft way. Because, sometimes it's not easy to deal with so many children, but you also have to be able to say, okay, you can't shout at them, but speak to them softly and say, okay, I understand how you're feeling, but we can't be doing that right now. Right now, everyone is playing, so let's join in. And after, we can probably see what other ways we could go about this.
I see some management skills there as well, and so, what's next for you guys? I know the YES program will come to an end because it's a vacation program.
Yeah.
And what's next for you guys as it relates to your studies? I know some of you are going back to school, or what is it? Yeah. And how are you going to use these skills in your place of your school, or even as you continue on developing and growing in life?
Well, for me, I could say that I am going on to my third year at the University of the West Indies, pursuing criminology and criminal justice.
Absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. And for me, I'm also an entrepreneur by heart. So I have my own business, my small business, which is poultry and livestock Tobago, and also Prime Electronics, right? And I will be, taking all the stuff that I learned, even with dealing with my own business, problem solving, the stress, as Melinda said, management. So I believe some of these skills that we would have developed here at the YES program is beneficial to us in the future.
Absolutely amazing. And you, Melinda?
I would be starting my second year in Jamaica, so UWI Mona, and I am studying social work, but I aim to build social work with performing arts and create drama therapy here in Tobago. So dealing with the children for my second year, definitely I'll be going out and practicing that, because I would start my training as well in social work when I get back there. So I would take a few tips from the children here and games as well, and using games for the children to actually learn. So I'll say, using games for them to play, but they actually learn from it as well. So that way I can keep them interactive.
Absolutely,
and engaged. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with representatives or participants rather in the YES program as they are placed in different industries across the private and public sector. They're working under the division of community development, youth development, and sports, and so we wish you guys the very best as you continue along. And we do hope that you enjoy the next couple of weeks as you continue the program, and the very best in your future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a short break, but we will be right back. And as we go for that break, we ask you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time.
This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun and they go drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue conversations. As you know, we're celebrating International Youth Day and International Youth Week, and we continue to speak with young people. This morning we speak with Ms. Shanika Adams and Mr. Anson Moses, and they too are participants in the YES program, and so we're going to get their experience as well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Of course, you know, we're celebrating International Youth Week, so happy International Youth Week to you guys.
Thank you.
And we know that you are participating in the YES program.
Yes.
So we'd like to know a little bit about your placement and what the experience has been like for you.
Okay, so once again, my name is Shanika Adams. I've been privileged to be placed at the Accident and Emergency Department at the Scarborough General Hospital. It's quite fitting to what I'm studying currently. I'm actually a student at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus, where I'm pursuing a Bachelor's of Medicine, Bachelor's of Surgery, with the intention to become a physician and future forensic pathologist. So Accident and Emergency offers me that opportunity to see the real life action, I'll say. As you know, in recent times, Tobago has been having a lot of action. So we've been seeing a plethora of cases coming in, quite diverse, quite unique. But what I enjoy the most is seeing patients come in. They may be frustrated, they may be despondent. They just want to know what's going on, and being able to provide them with that reassurance that everything will be okay. And you see they're leaving there with a new sense of hope and feeling much better. So that I enjoy the most.
Wow, and that is a heavy department there, because as you said, there's a lot of action taking place there, of course. And how have you been able to manage yourself in terms of the pace that happens in that space, because it's accidents and emergencies? So there's a lot of things happening at the same time. How have you been able to manage yourself in terms of not becoming overwhelmed or not becoming overworked or not becoming emotionally involved in the things that are happening? Because, you know, you have to separate your emotions and do the business part of the job. So how have you been able to manage?
What I must say is I relish in the hectic nature of accidents and emergency. I'm somebody who tends to get bored quite quickly, so I need something that keeps me going. It's not the same thing over and over, it's something new. So it tests your knowledge, it keeps you ticking, like you're going, you're just on your P's and Q's at all times. But as a medical student, we are still in the process of learning, so I must say and applaud the competent doctors who we are working under, who guide us on how to approach these situations. So we would be there, we would observe, we would assist in any way possible. As in recent times, there were some shootings that took place, and we were privy to be there. But we were not in the front and center, because at the end of the day, we have to leave the doctors to do their work, but we were able to be a part of that. So we are slowly getting into the pace. So it seems you understand it, you watch them, you observe them, so you tend to learn, you learn along the way. It would always have an emotional aspect to it. But what we try to do is ensure that you can always leave someone feeling better. Not all times you might get that outcome, and it is, I would be lying to say it doesn't take a toll, or it doesn't hurt sometimes to see, especially family members, so big or small, family members come in there and you're like, you okay? And then you might hear the best news. But I'm saying what keeps us going is understanding that we are here to provide a service, we are here to make you feel better. And sometimes feeling better is just engaging in a conversation. That rapport is so important.
The human aspect of it, of course.
Because some people just want to talk.
That's right, that's right. And Anson, I want to get your experience as well. Miss Adams, they gave us a whole full experience, and I could feel the excitement bubbling in you. And so I want to get your experience as well, Anson, as to what it's been like for you where you have been placed.
So my experience has been just as energetic as Shanika own. It's just in a different area and a different field.
That's right.
Because anybody who knows me know that I'm a pretty active person. I'm always active, always doing something, always engaging in youth activities, activities for children and stuff like that, especially when I'm in Trinidad and Tobago over the summer period. Because I'm actually studying in the US. I'm studying a bachelor's in health, physical education, recreation and wellness at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And my experience so far has been amazing. A lot of late nights, a lot of extra days. Because up to last night, this morning, we worked until 3 a.m. this morning because we were offloading equipment for the sports camp that's supposed to start today for the children for over the next 2 weeks. So we did the last sports camp that just finished 2 weeks ago, and we started a new sports camp this 2 weeks. I'm also a part of the Pro Youth panel that's supposed to be in the complex city, and also we're having an event next week Friday which is called Pro Health, and I'm also a part of that initiative and stuff like that. And not just that, but I also do a lot of volunteerism work in terms of coaching athletes in the field of track and field, helping them out with gym exercises, teaching them how to lift weights properly, teaching them how to keep their body up, nutritious stuff, and just getting involved in the whole sporting aspect. It has also been pretty amazing for me to learn how the administrative part of sport work, not just on the field, but the administrative part, which is actually a headache because I didn't know that it takes so much and it has so much that happen behind the scenes that people don't know about or see about or hear about. And just being there and learning and seeing is really amazing, and I love it.
And I suppose your exposure to that will give you some kind of insights as to when you're actually practicing after you've graduated from university and you're now practicing in that field. So you would have that kind of hands-on experience and know what to expect when it comes there. If you were to encourage somebody to be a part of somebody who might be studying abroad or even in Trinidad or locally here in Tobago to participate in the next edition of the ES program, what would you say to them to encourage them? Because of course you're learning things, you're meeting people, and as you mentioned, you didn't know there's certain things you didn't know that you learned participating in the ES program. How would you encourage a young person to participate in the event? You have 30 seconds to sell this program.
Okay, 30 seconds to sell this program. I would tell them, please take the initiative, reach out to the ES program, get involved, because it teaches you a whole lot, not just on your mental aspect, your physical aspect, your social aspect. It teaches you how to sell yourself. in 60 seconds. It teaches you how to work alongside different people from different walks of life. And just teach you how to be a better human being on a whole because of the different activities that we engage in, involve in. And every year is more stuff that the YES program offers and more things that the YES program does to keep youth involved and teach you about the island of Tobago, because a lot of the young people in the internship do not know half of the stuff about Tobago. And they get to learn more, they get to see more, they get to do more. So definitely.
Absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, as you know, it's International Youth Day today, and we've been speaking primarily to young people as it relates to issues concerning them, primarily in the employment sector and opportunities that are available to them here on the island of Tobago. And of course, we're seeing young people are excited to be a part of what is happening in terms of their personal and professional development. And so we want to wish every single young person looking at this program today, happy International Youth Day, happy International Youth Week. And we do hope that you are able to enjoy this to maximize all the opportunities that are available to you so that you can be the best version of yourself, for yourself and for those around you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show, but it's not where we end our viewing, our programming. We continue on with GMT, so stay with us. And as you stay with us, we ask you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome to Tobago Heritage, the Tobago Old Time Wedding happening right now at the beautiful community of Mariah, Tobago.
It's something that I've been waiting for from since last year, and trust me, this year they have improved.
It's coming like not only a heritage, but like a harvest, where everybody enjoying themselves, and people could take part in the bush back. You know what I mean?
The experience has been wonderful. The weather has been quite faithful to us this evening. The evening is pretty warm, and thus far we are having a wonderful experience.
Nice vibes, nice energy, and I just love this place.
First experience at the Mariah Old Time Wedding, and it has been fantastic, very electrifying. It's good to see the people out in the numbers, and the rain didn't really hinder the festivities. You know, rain only stopped crickets.
I like to see the old time wedding, but what I find is that when they came from the church, the way the crowd was trying to get to see them, they should try and organize something on the street with bleachers or something for the people to sit down and get to see them better, because you couldn't see them so good because everybody run into videotape and take pictures.
The festival has been very exciting. This is our culture, and I believe that the Mariah Old Time Wedding is the crowning glory of our heritage. It's very rich, and it has gained international recognition for very long, and we need to do more to push it forward.
This is my first time ever at the Mariah Heritage. I usually watch it on TV, but my aunt decided to bring me out today, and I must say it's a really nice experience. The church service was very interesting. I really like the Mako lady on the outside. Very funny. I'm really looking forward to the stage production.
My heart is filled with joy to see my son, Cleophas, marry such a geophysically beautiful woman.
Say you said the man get all kind of thing home by you for the wedding. Of course. If me pity I get married and people bring things for me. The right thing to do is to give it to the wedding. Come let me show you something. Where you get this? Below you so house. Me house? You house. So who house again? When me look out of me window before cock crow, as straight as you house me I see.
All this time, you keeping all the food below your house below your house, Tilly.
I want to be concentrated for all the load I thought to come down here. I would like piece of pork, please.
You do wrong, but we can't live so. Yeah. I forgive you, right? Accept it. Accept it. And I forgive you and your brother. And I want all to take part in it. Tilly, when the pig on. Tilly, you mean all the thief the pig?
All you? Me not take
all the thief the pig?
Me the right eye eyesight all the time. You gonna tell me thief pig?
You thief the cake too?
The cake?
The cake too? I'm gonna forgive you, you know. But listen, all come and do the grand change, eh?
Me no know nothing but that.
Till I'm done. I'm done. I hope I'll choke.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving it, we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix, and you know whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you definitely want asked. But this morning, before we get into those conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. A 30-year-old man was detained by Tobago Divisional Task Force in connection with illegal trafficking activities. The arrest occurred on Saturday when officers on mobile patrol stopped a suspicious heavily tinted Mitsubishi Lancer along Joefield Trace in Lambeau. The vehicle, driven by the suspect from Lambeau Village, contained illegal items including a Glock pistol, ammunition, drugs, cash, and other contraband. The suspect, who had no driver's permit and was not the vehicle's registered owner, was detained and taken to the Scarborough police station. The investigation into the trafficking operation is ongoing. Additionally, National Security former National Security Minister and National Transformation Alliance leader Gary Griffith criticized the THA's plan to rent 2 vessels for Coast Guard to combat the rising crime in Tobago. Griffith argued that the decision demonstrates a lack of understanding of national security and disrespecting the expertise of trained Coast Guard personnel. He emphasized that the Coast Guard's role is to secure the nation's exclusive economic zone, not to patrol close to the shore in rented vessels. Griffith also highlighted 6 vessels which were acquired during his tenure as National Security Minister and were intended for extensive offshore patrol and are currently underutilized. He accused the current administration of political negligence and a lack of proper border security strategy, leaving Tobago vulnerable of criminal activities. And finally, Dr. Ayana James has been released from the Scarborough General Hospital and is now recovering from her injuries. She was shot near the scapula, and according to the medical scan, this may have prevented a fatal outcome. Dr. James is the latest victim of gun violence in Tobago. She was shot in the shoulder on Thursday night outside of Pablo's supermarket in Argyle while protecting her 1-year-old daughter. And that was on News in 90 Seconds. Now, this morning, as we get into our conversation, I have the privilege and the pleasure of chatting with the Assistant Secretary for the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Assemblyman Niall George. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Tobago, right here on Tobago Updates. Now, it's no secret that a number of your colleagues have been in the media and talking about how successful the 2024 Tobago Heritage Festival was. Now, there has been a lot of feedback on what happened and the different events and the fact that this different approach that was taken to bring back a number of villages that were previously left out of the Heritage Festival was a successful move for 2024. Tell us about the overall success of the festival this year.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Tobago. So sometimes out of constraints, you get new opportunities. And there was a budget cut for the Heritage Festival. You would have heard uproar from the minority of it being the worst, but that presented opportunities for villages that had not taken part previously to take part. And being in these festivals, every one of them, I was pleasantly surprised at the organization, at the display of talent, at just the general running of the activities. As I said on Emancipation Day, the one that stood out to me most was Golden Lane, and they had been out for a while, and it was they came back seamlessly. You had dancers from as young as 4 years. My personal favorite, he was tiny. He had to be guided around the stage at certain parts, but he was participating, and it says to us that our future of the Heritage Festival is in a good place.
Right, and would you deem the 2024 Heritage Festival as a success, and what are your markers of success?
Well, in terms of the production and it being run in budget, it was definitely a huge success. But I'm saying to Tobagonians, this is our Heritage Festival, and the only way it would grow is if we support it. The overall support of the festival, especially the paid events, it wasn't up to mark. And I will say to Tobagonians, you all missed a treat. I mean, from Folk Fiesta to the Heritage Queen Show, it was splendid. It was amazing. I remember Clavier's performance, the talent. It was like a Broadway show, a one-person Broadway show, and it is definitely our intent to engage you to use that for advertising our island and our festival, because I mean it was growing. You had Amaya's dress, Amaya's gown, it was just a all around well put together festival, well executed. Everything was seamless, smooth, and with us, within the budget cuts, we were able to give a 40% advance to all the groups and village councils that were executing the festival. So it was the first time that they were able to get monies that early, and then, as I said, it would have made the execution easier. So overall, it was very successful.
Right. And let's switch gears a bit to the Tobago Carnival Experience 2024. Are you in charge of that festival in regards to leading the teams into strategy for that?
Yes, but when I came into the division, the planning had already started, so I would not rock the boat that much because it would create some situations, but yes.
All right. And, are there some things that you came over to the division and even though you were at settlements before, you were like, okay, when it comes to Tobago Carnival, this is something that although you already, started your planning for what you want to do from the outside as an assistant secretary in another division, these are the areas where I saw, could do with improvement that you felt like once you get in there, you want to see that happening.
Definitely. I mean, I'm leading the carnival, so there are ideas that I would definitely implement. But we have to all do it within the budgetary constraints. We wish we had an unlimited budget to do a lot more things, but we have to get creative. We have to be innovative. And I mean, last year's carnival was wow, so we definitely can't go backwards. We have to go forward. So we have to be very innovative in the way that we do things. One of the things that we are looking for is a lot more collaboration to minimize unnecessary expenses. But as I said, the carnival has to grow. It has to become one of the leading carnivals, not just, in the world. So we have to be innovative in the way we do things.
Right, but consecutively, we have seen the actual launch and the promotion of the carnival happening a bit on the later half. And when I say on the later half, I mean in regards to the international market, because we know when it comes to catering for the international market, they start booking tickets for October as the latest is probably January of 2024. So being able to put forward particular packages and being able to package it in a way that allows for members of the diaspora and or international tourists to be, adequately informed on what the carnival schedule is going to look like. What are we doing to work to improve how early we put together those international packages?
Well, in terms of doing it earlier, I can't do anything about that now. But going forward, we definitely have to improve in that aspect. So as I said before, I came into the division in May, and the execution of the carnival would have already started. But we have to be very mindful that the division also has many festivals to take care of. And it's the same staff that has to deal with pretty much the very hardworking staff at festivals that has to deal with that. So you have to find ways to get around the limit in terms of numbers of employees. And we definitely, because I appreciate that whereas someone in Tobago may be able to take a couple of days off and get to the carnival, the people in the diaspora would have to know way in advance. Some of these people would have to apply for their vacation as early as the 1st of January. So I understand the challenges it would create. And I agree. The other problem that we have would be getting people here. And CAL, the major airline, isn't under the remit of the Tobago House of Assembly. We have also been negotiating to have an improved number of flights. In terms of that, I don't know if the opening of the new airport terminal would improve that situation when that happens, but in the interim, we would have to work with what we have and get new.
But historically, CAL has put on a number of extra flights when it comes to the Tobago Carnival. And don't you think that if promotion is done early and they begin to see a heavy influx of tickets being purchased around that time. And let's just say, for instance, the date for Carnival drops and within 2 days, all those tickets for those dates are sold out. It will force them to have to put on those extra flights. So then it's a matter of truly creating that strategy that kind of forces their
I
hand.
tend to disagree with you because I
Okay.
look at the local market. Flights are always full, and since COVID, the airport has been closed pretty early. We even offered to pay to keep the airport open. I mean, look at the discomfort that our locals. We're thinking about internationals. I'm thinking about Tobagonians first, right? And I'm saying the average Tobagonian that has to do impromptu travel, which is usually the most important travel. It's very difficult. Look at how many our Tobagonians are sleeping on the airports trying to get home. Before we look at Carnival, let's look at what's taking place here. And the evidence says that they are not increasing the number of flights. They haven't added one extra flight in almost 2 years. So the evidence does not suggest that they would add extra flights.
Okay. And when it comes to some of the plans and projects that you have coming up, tell us about what we can expect to see from you very soon.
In terms of the division?
Yes.
Well, outside of the Carnival, I have responsibility for community tourism and sports tourism. We had a conference in London in June, and arriving out of that conference, there were some opportunities for sports tourism that we are currently engaging. They have not been confirmed as yet, so I would not let that rabbit out of the hat. But there are at least 2 events that we are looking at happening in short notice. The other thing is community tourism, where we are looking at the Castara model that we would like to expand to other villages. Now, every community has its uniqueness, its unique culture, its unique sites, and we have to engage that because the community tourism scene is expanding, where you are seeing more tourists looking for the bed and breakfast. When they come, they aren't looking for the concrete jungle. They are accustomed to that. They're looking to experience the way of life of a Tobagonian. So that's why you would see models like Castara, Palatavere being very successful, where you would go to these villages and people would tell you that their rooms are booked out all up to next year. So we are looking to expound on that.
Okay, and as we wrap up, what can we expect from you in your district?
Well, that's where the buzz of activity would start. If you look at my district, there has been a lot of negativity coming out of it in terms of crime. And I'm looking at more social programs, more sporting programs to keep our young persons busy in terms of their time and their activities, so that we could help to reduce the effects of criminality.
All right, and what is one of those activities that we can see coming on stream really soon, hopefully before years, and that we can look forward to in the area?
I'm looking to start a village football league.
Right.
Well, district football league. My district is very large, and it touches as far as I said. So you have Union, you have Wim, you have Blackrock, you have Plymouth. It even goes as far as Bethel. So that's an initiative that I know would touch a lot of young people in my
Right,
community.
and we know that you are very supportive of youth and young people and youth development. So would you be at that pro-youth convention happening in Shaw Park this morning?
Yes, I would definitely.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you there. And we're going to have to wrap up this conversation with Assemblyman Niles. We want to thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for chatting with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this. See you soon, guys.
Passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor, to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong. This is how it's gonna go. We better look out below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. Welcome to my kitchen, guys. You have to stop it every night. That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we continue our interesting conversations by chatting with Dr. Denise Sawyer-Angus, who is the political leader of the IDA. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning
It's
to
always
our viewing and listening audience.
It's always a pleasure to have you in studio. You're always such a breath of fresh air. So I look forward to chatting with you this morning. Now, recently, we've seen an upsurge in crime on the island of Tobago like never before. I mean, you could say it's almost every week you're hearing of a criminal incident that is gun-related. So we're seeing that there are more firearms on the island, or even if it's not more, we're seeing them being used more. What are your views on this recent surge?
It's quite unfortunate, but not unexpected. In some areas, you ask people, why did they get into a life of crime? And oftentimes, it comes back to money, the economy, my pocket, unemployment, not feeling as if they've been tooled enough to get the jobs that they need to really supply and put food on their table in the family. And therefore, over the last 3 years, with the declining economy in Tobago, we are seeing where more and more of them are getting involved in crime. But it also is the fact that when your neighbor house on fire, wet your own. And we did not wet our house adequately and in sufficient time over the last, 7 years or so, to ensure that what was happening in Trinidad did not creep over in Tobago. But then we hear that it's not just in Tobago, it is also regional, that they are all interconnected now. So we have a situation on our hands, and definitely it is not a quick fix, and we have to look at a comprehensive approach to the issue.
The current fighting strategy. Well, we saw that even the Prime Minister came to Tobago to have discussions in connection with a number of the stakeholders to devise effective strategies to combat crime. And even after that, we saw still steady murders occurring on the island. We saw even the new Minister for National Security Minister Scotland came to Tobago. And we're seeing that every time something happens, there's another news conference, there's another stakeholder engagement meeting, and there's more strategizing on how to combat crime. It's like every week, when something happens, you're hearing a new idea for a new strategy to combat crime. And you are saying that what is needed is a comprehensive approach to, strategic crime fighting. But what is there to say that that is not being done? We're seeing every week a news conference happening and strategies being put forth, but yet we are still seeing a surge in crime.
Yeah. So what we have is that we are putting a plan by VAPs instead of a plan using scientific data to guide the solutions. And once you do that, then you're being reactive in government and not understanding that you have to have the data, you have to look at the whole picture. And are we using everyone who we have access to in the country? I mean, on Thursday nights, we have a Tobago Legislative Series program, and we discuss all matters related to Tobago and where it impacts on a national level also. And last Thursday, we had Dr. Wendell Wallace, who is a criminologist, an attorney at law, an avid researcher, and also someone who is a lecturer at the University of the West Indies, and he's a criminologist. So he's written a slew of books on crime, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but across the region, well known. And best of all, he's from Castara.
Right.
Why aren't we calling on somebody like Dr. Wendell Wallace to work with the team and provide some of the research-based solutions to what we are seeing?
And during that conversation, what are some of those research-based solutions that he would have hinted to?
So one of the, what he says is that, we can't just be looking at intervention, which is what we are heavily into now. You have to look at prevention, you have to look at intervention, and you have to look at suppression. So even at the level of the judiciary, we need to be looking and reviewing the laws and the way they are practiced there, such that when somebody is locked up, in the next couple of days, they're out on bail, and this has been repeatedly been happening, and they go back in, they come back out, they go back in, they come back out. So we really have to be looking at our suppression model. We have to be looking, we're doing a lot in terms of intervention, but primarily we have to be looking at prevention. And when we talk about those three things, they're not just applied at the level of governance, because he says there's a micro level, which is the family, and in the family, you should be applying these three things. What am I doing to prevent my children from getting into a life of crime? What am I doing to intervene if I see them going the wrong way? What am I doing in terms of suppression? How do I punish them in a way such that I get them to go a different way? What are those tools that I'm using even within the family? At what he calls the meso level, you have the communities, and you apply the same model to communities, how communities practice prevention, how they practice intervention and suppression. And we're talking further, where are communities being given the resources, legislated, legal resources, so that they can really practice and intervene in a timely manner? Because I say children are not born. Criminals are not born. They are shaped by their environment. So you have to give the communities the resources for them to be able to identify along the way and treat with it the way they see it fit, the priorities in their areas. If they find there are a lot of footballers or there, persons who can go away, the community should be able to offer scholarship, not wait for someone to go and beg a politician to be told no, that you're not on the right side, so the child can't get a scholarship to go abroad, and make it like Dwight York. Many communities have said, we have children who are better than what Dwight York was when they were at his age, but they don't have the opportunity to go forward because there is a perception of political interference and gerrymandering. And then at the macro level, which is at the governance level, again, how are we practicing prevention? How are we intervening? And how are we, practicing suppression? And when you take that approach, when all of those things are operating at a 75% of positivity, that is when you begin to truly impact crime. But that cannot operate without honest and detailed data collection and analysis. We cannot practice defense collection such that the government doesn't look bad. It's time we start really having an independent way of collecting data where they are not, impacted or influenced in any way. Collect that data, do the analysis, and let us know. Collect the appropriate data. Timeliness is important, and that can better guide us as to where to put those programs in understanding. One community doesn't fit all.
Right. And when you talked a bit about the meso and the macro approach to fighting crime, you talked about ensuring that there is enough resources in the communities to do so. But when we look at the economic situation in Tobago and, this administration continuously repeating the fact that, financial resources are limited, how is it that they are able to prioritize Tobago's development while also creating strategies and giving communities those tools to fight against crime and having those preventative mechanisms in place?
It's called priorities. When a mother is in a home and you're given a certain amount of resources, you may be determined that you can't pay for Netflix. There are some things that are called luxury items within your home, and when things are very tight, you determine those items go much lower on the list, and the resources that you would put to those items, you then put into food and shelter and education for your children. Okay, so all the other frills, maybe buying food outside, you decide to cook something at home to save your money, to save every penny. And so if we apply those principles at the level of governance right now, we wouldn't see the extent of travel that we are now seeing, and some of the other things that are not considered to be priority right now. Okay, you would spend the monies closer to home rather than having so many other contractors coming from Trinidad. You spend the money closer to home so that the economy directly benefits in Tobago. So there are things that they can do in terms of prioritizing the way we practice governance to find the resources to put elsewhere. And I want to say this, that the greatest need right now in terms of a career on the island should be social work and social work assistance. Okay, because social work needs to go in and do the assessment of families and communities. Let the police do their work, yes, but social work has to give us that data. We know that there are families who cannot adequately put food on the table. I've seen it. There are families that can't really send their children to school. And I really have to give kudos to those NGOs out there that are doing human service. How are we empowering the NGOs to do more? Okay, so again, it's prioritizing the spend on the island, how you're spending that money, and understanding what can create economic development on the island and put the resources there to stimulate the economy.
I'm glad that you said that. Now, we saw a large number of licensing officers come from Trinidad just 2 weeks ago. and they had a heavy presence on the island. So much so that a lot of persons, as we say in Tobago, would have been on their P's and their Q's. Do you think that that level of police presence, when done to focus on crime and criminal activities within the community, can have a similar impact?
Like I said, it has to be a comprehensive approach. So yes, and it was good to see that they actually got some guns and stuff. But again, their approach has to be balanced. Okay? When you are appearing to be punitive to your law-abiding citizens who don't have guns, who going about their business, who trying to make a penny to feed their families, and you shut them down with $5,000 in fines or all of these demerit points that maybe they may even lose their license and their opportunity to work for their families, what are we doing? You're creating criminals. So we need to, yes, the approach is necessary, but I think they needed to review to what extent that they're going in terms of, you know, how they're affecting other people on the island.
So what do you think is a better approach to the licensing officers coming to Tobago to get that job done? What would you suggest?
No, they do their jobs, but you have to have some compassion while you're doing your job. You know, how many warnings did they send out versus how many tickets? And we all know, and I know for a fact, that it took over a week and a half to 2 weeks for some people to even get their cars certified. How many days away from their work to stand in line to be told, come back again, and they didn't even get to the point where they said, okay, these things are wrong. It was standing in line, come back again. Finally, you get to the counter, they say, okay, these things you have to go and fix. Okay, so they also need to take responsibility for that process. How can they make that process more accessible and easier for people to deal with that so that it doesn't affect person's pockets, the amount of waiting time that people have had to wait. Imagine a taxi driver has to wait so many hours, you're losing work on the road, to be told, okay, come back tomorrow, come back next week. Come back. And then you get there and then there are things. So there is an opportunity for those who want to put a business. Get yourself certified and get a station in the east. Get yourself certified and get a station in the north, because we had all the cars converging in the west, and that really does not augur well. And that's when you talk about really planning for governance. You understand the challenges. You're not just dealing with the suppression or the punitive part of things, but you're looking at prevention. How can I make it more accessible for people to get their certificates in order?
Right. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up this morning's discussion, but you know, it wouldn't be like me not to ask you, what can we look forward to seeing from you come this general election campaigning season that's coming on stream very soon?
Well, IDA continues to prepare. We have not fully decided yet. We're looking at all factors because we understand there may be very well about 6 different players on the playing field, you know, with players coming from Trinidad, saying they're fielding candidates in Tobago. So right now we are preparing for anything, and we are looking on and observing, because at the end of the day, Tobago must have the best opportunity to leverage those candidates, because it's not just about going up for a general election. It's not just about fielding candidates for general election. How does Tobago leverage those seats inside of the parliament? And I dare say that years and generations have gone by that we have not been able to do that. okay, leveraging those seats. And perhaps it is time for us to begin thinking differently. I do believe that the constitutional changes that are necessary will assist us in that regard, to not just get greater autonomy for Tobago, but to have a bigger say in Parliament beyond just sending candidates from any side. To not just sit in Parliament, but get caught up in administration such that they become silent along the way on Tobago's matters. And that has to change.
Thank you so much, Dr. Angus. It was a pleasure having a conversation with you this morning. Thank you for bringing forward those insights specifically on crime in Tobago. Now, unfortunately, we have to end the discussion here as I head over to the Pro Youth Convention over there in Shaw Park. This morning, we are celebrating youth and everything youth development. So I look forward to seeing you there. But for now, we're going to wrap it up here this morning. And we want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster. If you are a youth and you know a youth, come down to Shaw Park this morning at 10 a.m. Let's have a great time. Let's open up ourselves to opportunities to network and see what's really available in this space for true youth representation and development. See you there.
We special and there is no denying Tobago is #1. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Tobago.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival!
Tobago is such a nice place.
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy.
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Every time, every time, every time, every single time.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive